Hello everybody, it is Alan, it is Brony time, and welcome back to Let's Play Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy Dual Destinies. Yeah, that's right, I am back. I wasn't sure I was gonna have a chance to record this today, but luckily enough, we can continue on with our adventure through Dual Destinies. As I believe we last left off, we're about to go to day 2 of the trial, I believe. Part 2 at least, where we have to defend Sasha, as she has been accused of killing the captain because they were seen arguing. So they believe that gives her a motive for murder, and we are pressing X to doubt that. But yes, here we go. Let's load back into where we finished off. And yes. What? The ship's doctor and Azura were romantically involved? Well, that's my theory, but I don't actually know if it's really true. Azura would never get involved with that god-awful ship's doctor. But I do admit, they were friends. Would Azura send Dr. Crab videos, I wonder? Videos? What do you mean? Azura used to send her boyfriend videos of herself teaching the orca tricks. I used to help Azura take the videos on her TV phone. This is an interesting bit of information. So, TV phones can shoot videos too, huh? My dumb phone sure can't. It can even, these TV phones are amazing. Hold up, 1 second. The sound for this is so loud, I need to turn it down. I hope that isn't too low for you guys now. We'll see. These TV phones are amazing. They can hear even record sounds you and I can't hear. All the equipment we use at Ship-Shape Aquarium is high-tech. The ship's doctor sends away for all kinds of electronics. So all the high-tech stuff is Dr. Crab's doing, huh? Anyway, I still highly okay, that's intentional. I was like, is that intentional or is that just a typo or a mistranslation? No, she would say that I still highly trout Azura's boyfriend as a ship's doctor. Dr. Crab found a charm yesterday. He was really shaken by it. Charm? Hey, leave that alone! That belonged to Azura! What was Azura's charm doing in Rifle's stomach? That charm looked just like your keepsake of Azura. Yeah, well, she did say she and her boyfriend had matching charms. Were the ship's doctor and Azura really a couple? I can't believe it! I think Dr. Crab will be called as a witness today. There are still so many unanswered questions, but I hope to solve them all in today's trial. I believe in you two. I know you can do it. And we will, Sasha. We promise. I certainly hope you guys cannot hear the washer. I didn't even know my sister put any stuff in. Court is now in session for the trial of Sasha Buckler. The defense is ready. Ah! Ready. Now I'm completely thrown off. Very good. Appears both the prosecution and the defense are ready. Yesterday it was proven that the Orca was not guilty, and that the victim fell to his death. Prosecutor Blackwell, did your investigation of the Orca pool turn up anything? It did. Found a bloodstain from the victim at the bottom of the pool. On this. Oh my, what a frightening looking rock. And you say it has a bloodstain on it? Just looking at it gives me the willies. So, can we assume that there was no water in the pool at the time of the incident? Very good. What a clever little deduction. Oh, well, it's nice to get a compliment from the prosecution for a change. Prosecutor Blackwell's completely tamed the judge with his carrot and stick approach. I guess I should have brought a few carrots of my own. Right, moving along. I have prepared a witness. Buckler was the only one who entered that room when there was no water in the pool. The witness will prove that. Come to the stand, witness. Name and occupation. Dr. Herman Crab. Beep! Sniper, stay in there! And who is that cute little creature? Such a restless bird. Quite unlike Taka. Beep! Wow. Chalk went up for Taka. He shut Sniper up with a single sound. Son of a gun. Dr. Herman Crab, Ship-Shape Aquarium's veterinarian. And could you tell us the name of your cute little friend there as well? Your Honor, please focus on the case. But it's important to learn all we can about the witness. This is Sniper. She's the offspring of a penguin named Rifle. Sniper lives in my hair. She might cause a commotion now and then, but please try to ignore her. I was originally going to call the animal keeper to the stand, but he refused to testify, so I settled on the veterinarian. Now tell us, why was the defendant in the orca pool room when the water was drained? In the early morning hours of July 20th, Sasha was cleaning the orca pool room. Sasha and Jack Shipley, the owner, were scheduled to do the cleaning together. During the cleaning, the pool water is drained. While the cleaning was going on, Marlon was taking care of the orca in the show pool. The pool water would never be drained unless the pool was being cleaned. And your claim is that the victim was made to fall to his death during the cleaning? Only Buckler and the owner had the security card necessary to enter the orca pool. And we already know from the security company's record of card usage that the defendant was in the orca pool room during the time of the cleaning. The witness's testimony and the record of the security card usage are conclusive evidence. So no one besides the defendant was at the scene, and the water in the pool was drained. Uh-oh, the judge already seems to be leaning toward the other side. We have to strike fast. Your Honor, we're ready for our cross-examination now. Oh, yes, of course. Please proceed then. Power of youth comes in handy at times like these. Alright. I'm a little curious about which statement was it during the cleaning. While the cleaning was going on. The pool water would never be drained unless the pool was being cleaned. Okay, elaborate on that a little bit more. There's no possibility it would be drained at any other time than during the cleaning? None. Shot down with a single word. Why are you so certain? Think about it. If the pool water were drained, what would happen to the orca? The poor thing! Whose side are you on, Athena? Exactly, young lady. Without water, Orla would be alright for a short period of time. But anything longer than that would pose serious risk. She could even die. So the fact that Orla is alive and well is proof that the water wasn't drained on her? That's right. The orca pool and the show stage pool are next door to each other. A hoist runs between the two to move the orca and the equipment back and forth. When intensive cleaning is done, the orca is moved to the show stage pool first. So the water is only drained while the pool is being cleaned. Please add that information to your testimony. But no, that's not right, because there is like a tiny little pool for Orla. Right there, there's a tiny little pool.
Objection!
If the water in the pool is drained, you say the orca could die. But is that necessarily true? What are you talking about? There is a way to let the water out without harming the orca, isn't there? Your Honor, please allow me to submit this photograph. That I totally should have submitted before this trial started. Oh, this is... As you can see, there is no water around the Skull Rock area. With the pool in this state, the victim could have been made to fall to his death. However, there is water on the other side of the partition, and Orla looks just fine. Son of a gun. In other words, if the partition is set up at the bottom of the pool, the water can be drained without doing Orla any harm. Are you implying the water could have been drained at a time other than during cleaning? Yes, there is that possibility. Dr. Crab is shaking. Looks like he has something to hide. Could it have something to do with the calendar note about the meeting with the victim? It might. I'll submit it to the judge. Your Honor, please take a look at this calendar. Ah, you waved that around in court yesterday. No need to drag out your souvenir today. Actually, I would like you to make note of the entry for the day of the incident. Let me see here. Meet the captain at the orca pool at 7 a.m. This note is about a meeting planned with the victim. What? The defense would like to argue that at the time of that meeting, the pool may have been drained of its water. Whose calendar is that? It belongs to Dr. Herman Crab. Isn't that right, Dr. Crab? Son of a gun. So you suspect me, do you? What is the meaning of this calendar entry, Dr. Crab? Explain yourself. Fine. I was supposed to meet Jack at the orca pool at that time, but I ended up not going. So you're saying you simply broke your promise. You can't get out of it that easily. I believe you have some explaining to do.
Objection!
Your blade is sharper than I thought, right, Donna? But your cut was shallow. A mere surface scratch. There's a saying amongst prisoners. Do not see, hear, nor speak to smooth-talking lawyers. If you think the witness is suspicious, show your proof. The calendar alone isn't good enough, huh? I have to prove the victim could have fallen to his death at 7 a.m. meeting time. Let's put our heads together, boss. The victim could have fallen during cleaning when the pool was completely drained. Or, using the partition, it could have been at 7 a.m. with the water partially drained. What would be the major difference in the circumstance between these two possibilities? What circumstance was different? The answer could really tell us something. What circumstance was different between the two possibilities of cleaning at 7 a.m.? Pool was half filled. I don't think so. We really can't prove that. The time of day was different. That's just not right. It's the orca was there. The murder occurred at a time other than during cleaning. The orca must have been there. Oh, you're right. And that would mean that Orla witnessed the murder. What's this? You're sheathing your sword so soon. Stop yammering to each other and show me how you wield your sword. Alright then, my sword is poised and ready. The murder was committed at a time other than during cleaning time. Then Orla must have been present at the scene. I can prove that the murder happened right in front of Orla. And I can prove that Mrs. Buckler is not guilty. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, are you implying that the orca was a witness to the crime? That's exactly what I'm implying. And how do you intend to prove the orca witnessed the murder? What are you going to do? Put the orca on the stand and cross-examine her? This is a critical point. Better think about it carefully. The defense will... Well, we did cross-examine a parrot once, so that wouldn't be out of realm, but we do have some evidence, I think. The defense will present evidence. Evidence that will prove Orla witnessed the murder. You're going to present evidence? Knowing the defense, I thought surely you would try to cross-examine the orca. Hey! There it is. I must say, I'm a little disappointed. Geez, sorry to get your hopes up, Your Honor. Very well, let's see this evidence, then. What evidence shows that the murder took place right in front of the orca? There's luminol on it, which means they came in contact with blood. Question is, how did she get blood on her? That's the question. But it's really the only thing I got that can really be used as evidence that would cast any doubt, so...
Take that!
This photo indicates where we discovered luminol reactions yesterday. By accident, we got some of the luminol testing fluid on Orla. Wow, if we did not accidentally get that luminol on Orla, this entire case would have fallen apart. We were then very surprised to see luminol reactions on Orla's body.
Objection!
So what of it? There's nothing odd about that. As we discussed in yesterday's trial, the orca was bleeding. Traces of the orca's blood were also found on the skull rock. The orca must have injured herself when she rammed the rock. So that cloud of blood Mr. Plume saw was from Orla headbutting the skull rock, was it? Those luminol reactions you saw on the orca, are most likely from her headbutting.
Objection!
But what's odd is the position of those bloodstains. Please take a good look at the photograph. Take a look at this photograph! Yesterday, Mr. Plume said the blood disappeared when Orla put on the hat. That testimony indicated that Orla's injuries were under the hat area. However, these luminol reactions are in two entirely separate areas from her injuries. These bloodstains can't be Orla's own blood from when she was headbutting. Then where did the blood come from? It's my firm belief that it's the victim's blood. The victim was killed right in front of Orla. And the victim's blood splattered onto Orla's body. Duh! That finally all makes sense. Orla was a witness to the murder. So that's why. Orla... Boss! Oh, wait. I'm not gonna reread flashbacks. I keep forgetting that. There's one more fact that indicates Orla was a witness to the murder. There's more. Culprit was afraid Orla could somehow reveal what she witnessed. That's why they did what they did. It's the only thing that makes sense. I have to present that evidence. That evidence that proves the culprit thought Orla was a dangerous witness. The 3Z sleeping pill.
Take that!
Tried to drug her. The defense would like to submit this evidence. Watch this, it looks like some sort of medicine. It's a sleeping drug, Your Honor. Very powerful one. This sleeping drug was discovered in Orla's stomach yesterday. The culprit tried to drown Orla by putting her into a deep sleep. Tried to drown the orca? But why? Right, Dono. Are you trying to tell this court that the perpetrator tried to kill the orca to present a witness from talking? Do you really expect to defeat me with that feeble attack? My sword has been drawn. I'm not about to sheath my evidence now. Workers have an enormous potential for intelligence. The possibility that Orla could somehow manage to reveal the truth can't be denied. The culprit believed in this possibility, and that's why they tried to kill her. Dr. Herman Crab, you purchased a sleeping drug, didn't you? Watch, does this mean the veterinarian tried to do away with the orca? Who but a veterinarian would better know how to disguise an orca's death? He could have even prevented the police from examining Orla's body. Why, you actually accusing me of trying to murder the orca? How dare you! How dare you slander the noble profession of veterinarian! My goodness, one could cut the tension in this courtroom with a knife. Yes, I admit to purchasing that sleeping drug. However, it was subsequently stolen from my lab. That's such a flimsy excuse. It's the truth. What else can I say? Any one of the crew members could have entered my lab. Guess that weakens my evidence quite a bit. Besides, think about it for a minute. Who was it that treated Orla after she swallowed the drug? It was I. But as I recall, it took you quite a while to give that treatment. You didn't even come on your own. We had to go get you. Son of a gun. Just remember all sorts of little details, don't you, Mr. Lawyer? The orca pool and the lab are far apart. It's little wonder you didn't know Orla's condition. Didn't know? That's highly doubtful. As far apart as they were, Dr. Crabbe still had a way to know all about Orla's condition. Defense would like to submit evidence that the witness knew about Orla's condition. Torpedo data.
Take that!
The torpedo. God, you just had to bring that up, didn't you? With this advanced data system, surely you would have known Orla's condition.
Objection!
Wait just 1 minute. What is this torpedo? Dr. Crabbe, how dare you bring a weapon of mass destruction into my courtroom? The torpedo, or Teleobservation Real-Time Pertinent Data Organizer, is a data system. Until yesterday, only Dr. Crabbe and Mr. Shipley knew about the torpedo. It isn't legally approved in this country, so it was kept secret from the police. It's illegal! Dr. Crabbe, I demand an explanation! Son of a gun. You and your big mouth, Mr. Lawyer. Yes, it's true. I'm using an illegal system to monitor the creatures at the aquarium. The system uses sensors like these, and yes, there's one in the orca pool too. These sensors send sound waves through the water to gather data on the creatures. If it finds abnormalities in their condition, the torpedo alerts me with a sound. Oh my goodness, how very high-tech! But if it's illegal, I will not turn a blind eye. This matter will be appropriately dealt with at a separate time. Now then, Mr. Wright, please continue. With the torpedo, I'm sure Dr. Crab noticed the danger Orla was in. But he made no attempt to come to her aid on his own. The reason for that is that Dr. Crab wanted Orla dead. The torpedo didn't give me a warning message. That's why I didn't know there was anything wrong with Orla. The sensor in the Orca pool wasn't working during the police's investigation. Can you prove that statement? What's with him? Guess this is all so high-tech for Prosecutor Blackwell that it's making him a little funny. Funny? Yes. I find this all very funny. Witness those senses send sound waves through the water, correct? But what if there isn't any water? Then they wouldn't work. It would automatically switch off. I see. And where was the sensor in the Orca pool located? I don't know. Jack is the one who attached it for me. You don't know? Then I will tell you. The police found a sensor just like the one you just showed us. They found it attached to the table at the bottom of the pool. Table? Do you mean the table in this photograph? That's right. Don't you get it yet, right, Dono? The table is on the Skull Rock side of the partition. It's affixed to the bottom of the pool and can't be moved. Oh, and so if the water was drained from the Skull Rock side of the pool? Precisely. Without water, the torpedo sensor would not work. Witness, when did that sensor automatically switch off? Hang on, I'll look it up. Only times lately were during cleaning 2 days ago and the investigation yesterday. Of course, I knew the pool would be drained while they cleaned it. But I had no idea they drained it for the investigation. And will let me know. That's why I didn't know about Orla's condition yesterday. So Dr. Crab really did want to save Orla? Did you hear that right, Dono? Yes, the water can be drained without harm to the Orca if the partition is used. But if the water is drained from the Skull Rock side, the sensor turns itself off. If the sensor was always on, except for during the cleaning and the investigation, it means there must have been water in the pool at all other times. It was never drained. In other words, no one but the defendant could have committed the crime. Ah! Order, order in the court. This completely shatters the defense's argument. But the fact still remains that Orla was nearly killed with Dr. Crab's sleeping drug. But aren't you forgetting one important question? When was the sleeping drug given to the Orca? You're right. That hasn't been discussed yet, has it? The Orca pool is the scene of the murder. The police were there all day yesterday. The only way to give the drug to the Orca undetected is to put it in her food. Yesterday, someone gave the Orca food during the trial. Someone did. I'm afraid I don't remember that. You don't remember? You're not that old yet, are you? It was the defendant. Sasha Buckler. Ah! So that is the Orca that stands accused, is it? So your argument is that Miss Buckler is the one who gave the Orca the drug. The prosecution's argument hasn't changed. Buckler made the victim fall to his death and manipulated the Orca to pin it on her. Still not satisfied? Still not satisfied, she further planned to kill the Orca with the sleeping drug. I didn't hear any reports of Dr. Crab feeding Orla. Maybe he didn't have a hand in Orla's attempted murder after all. Is there anybody else who could fed Orla besides Sasha? If it's true, the defendant is the one who fed the sleeping drug to the Orca. Then that places even more suspicion on her than ever.
Objection!
The defense objects to the prosecution's claims. Well, you still haven't admitted defeat? Prosecutor Blackquill, I don't appreciate the way you only mention the parts that are convenient for you. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Prosecutor failed to mention that Miss Buckler wasn't the only one to feed Orla. As you will all recall, there was another person who gave Orla food. Oh, you mean that person? Looks like Athena remembers now, too. Oh, Mr. Wright! No! I don't want to believe it either. We can't ignore the truth. The other person who fed Orla during the trial was... It was Marlon. Buddy. When there was that handprint, I began to have my suspicions that somehow you were going to be more involved in this than you claimed. Maybe you were. I'm starting to suspect that maybe you were Azura's boyfriend and not Dr. Crab.
Take that!
Please recall when Orla was found not guilty yesterday. Marlon Rhymes gave the Orca a large quantity of food. If the sleeping drug was mixed in with that food, it could be given to the Orca without arousing police suspicion. Now that you mention it, I do remember that flip-flop of feeding the Orca.
Objection!
So you remember, did you? I see the time for a true sword fight has come. I call Marlon Rhymes to the stand. Mr. Lawyer, both Miss Orca Lover and Marlon Rhymes are important members of our crew. I don't want to suspect either of them, but I'm ready to accept whatever truth you find. Here, take this. That charm. It's the charm that matches the one Azura Summers had, isn't it? So you and Miss Summers were romantically involved, weren't you, Dr. Crab? What? No, of course not. Sorry to disappoint you, but this doesn't belong to me. At the time, I thought it was Azura's, so I grabbed it. It wasn't hers. Now it's up to you, Mr. Lawyer, to figure out whose charm it is. It's definitely Marlon's. I will. Thank you, Dr. Crab. After all, I'm interested in the outcome of this trial, too. Now then, please summon Marlon Rhymes to the witness stand. What's going on? What's everybody making that face for? I haven't been watching the trial. Nobody's told me anything. Marlon Rhymes, you are under suspicion for the attempted murder of the Orca. I see. Well, if it's already out. Mr. Rhymes? Is he really going to admit it? Bah. I'll tell the truth. And we'll have to figure that out find out that truth next time on Dual Destinies. That's right, we are a little over our usual time, so I'm going to end it right there. I knew this was coming up, so I wanted a good stopping point, and this is the best one. So, thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to anytime for more content, especially more of Dual Destinies. Also, make sure to share this video far and wide so we can get as many eyes on this series as possible. I will see you all next time.